So what is chivalry? Well, I decided to ask ChatGPT, and this is what it told me. Chivalry, ingrained in medieval times in the knightly code, promotes honor, bravery, and respect in interactions, especially towards women. It emphasizes duty, loyalty, and selflessness in protecting the weak. Beyond acts of courage in the battlefield, it highlights moral integrity, humility, and compassion, treating all with kindness, regardless of status. So I guess that's the medieval definition of what chivalry is. But this is 2023. So what the is chivalry?
So let's talk about chivalry, because we throw this word around with our clients. You need to be chivalrous when it comes to when you're on a date with a woman.
It took me some time to understand, because what I knew about that, it was like completely...
Well, in fact, I asked Luba a couple of weeks ago, what's this? What would translate to chivalry in Russian, right? Or Ukrainian? What would translate? Like, what do you say when a guy is opening the door and he's being courteous and he's being kind and he's taking care of a woman? What would you call that? And you were like, I don't know, like it doesn't really have a word, right?
I mean, this guy we would call a gentleman, but the chivalry we would not, because the chivalry,
Chivalry.
Chivalry is like translated as a knight, like it's like something from back then, from back times,
Yeah.
when the person was a knight on a horse with the metal stuff. And but I understand what does it mean, like in a big picture, but we just don't have this term to use.
Yeah, that was interesting actually, because when Luba said that it translates to like a knight, someone from medieval times, I went and had a look, and that's where it actually comes from. That's actually it. And so I thought it was very interesting too, because we throw this word around so much that we think that chivalry is that, okay, when I'm on a date with a woman, I'll open the door, I'll help her with her jacket, I'll help her getting out of the car so she doesn't fall over. But it's far, what?
Okay.
Oh, you don't? Okay, well, that's the last time you get helped out of a car, so next time you'll be falling over, okay? You just remember that. But it's far more than that, right? It's a mindset. It's who you are as a person. And this is one thing that I want you guys to think about, right? What is chivalry, right? Not what is chivalry to you, but what is chivalry in a traditional setting, right? In the entire context. It's about being somebody that takes care of the people around you, like a knight would do, but also being so ferocious and having ferocious when you have to be. So
I know that your vocabulary is so...
I also struggle understanding what I'm saying half the time, but it's so. And when there is a time to be this man who can protect, you can do that. If you have to kill someone, you'll do it to protect your family and your woman and your children. You'll do that. If we look at it from a traditional point of view, because that's what a knight's job was. The knight was the original true gentleman, right? Yes. He was there to save people. He was there to be, the savior of maybe a group of people, a family or something like that. And that's what the knight was, which translates to the chivalrous man, right? So the idea behind chivalry is not, okay, when I'm on a date, I need to open the door and I need to do this and this and this. It should be before then. It should be before you go on the date. It should be how you live your life day to day. Always thinking about who you are. You are this courteous. You are respectful, regardless of social status. You are there to help other people. You're there to make other people's lives better, not expecting reward for it.
That is very important. And I heard this phrase from one of our guys. He said, like, guys, I just want to be like, I want to have it. I want to be chivalry, right?
Chivalry.
Yes. Sorry, I don't know. It's like
shivering.
Shivering.
Yes.
And it's just impossible to do in the West. And for me, I was struggling to understand it, because in Ukraine we don't know other. Yes, like there's guys who are doing that, and this is how it should be. And there's some other guys. I don't know. Nowadays it's smaller percentage, bigger percentage, but it's bad guys. It's just the guys that ladies don't want. And so for us, it's nothing that surprising. Like opening the door, it's very nice, but it's not that if you do that, like she will think that you're like top of the top. She will respect that, she will absolutely point that, and she will pay attention to that. But it's like what we did in another video when we say that
there's a baseline.
It's a baseline. It's not like giving her flowers or opening the door or help her not to fall out of the car for some reason. Maybe she's drunk. Like it's actually not. It's normal. It's what is expected.
Yeah.
It's what should be. It's what
It's what a man should be doing.
Yes, it's what a man should be doing.
Yeah, so they expect the man to have these chivalrous behaviors, which is normal. Like a a knight is a knight, right? And I can imagine in medieval times, the knight is the knight. The knight's doing his
Always.
job, and he's protecting people, and he's doing all that. He's doing what he has to do, right? And people look up to him, and he is a knight because of that reason. For some reason, he got to that position, right? So he's doing what he has to do. People aren't thinking, oh, he's a really good man. They're just thinking, well, he's the knight. He's the chivalrous man who protects us and takes care of things, right? So that's how it should be, and that's kind of the way that it is in Ukraine. It's that's how a man should be. So when he does those things, it doesn't make him any more special than any other man. It puts him on the baseline of a good chivalrous man. If he doesn't do those things, he's seen as being, I guess, useless. Let's say that, right?
Right. And we had one strategy call when I really liked your point, and what you're saying now, it confirmed it, that when you are, like, you should be like that always. It's not that, for example, like if you're with your date, you open the door. But with me, or like with some other woman that you see, you're not like that. Of course, there's certain line, right? But if the guy is opening the door, it should be, if you are like that, like I would call it gentleman. Okay, I just don't like this word and it's difficult for me to say. But like for me, gentleman, like honestly. So the gentleman will open the door. The gentleman will let the lady go first. The gentleman can even help her. I mean, of course, it's a bit awkward, like if you are like passing and like some stranger will give you a hand to pass the puddle, for example. But still, it is possible and this is appropriate. So you should be gentleman always, regardless of is it your lady or it's like some other woman. Better to be gentleman with other ladies when your lady is not around you because she will be jealous. But this is another thing. But I mean, this is how it should be. And some guys, like on that strategy call, we have a little bit disagreement with this guy because he said that no, I want to be good only with the lady that I'm super attracted to. He had a little bit different issue. So his issue was that he went on a date with a lady that he was not very attracted. And so he was really treating her, on our opinion, badly. And on this point, what you told him? He was calling him a gentleman and everything. So he was saying that he is like top of the top.
Yeah, so my advice to him was that any interaction that you have with people, that you should be the chivalrous man. Especially if you invite a woman out on a date and she has agreed, okay, she's now your responsibility to make sure that she gets home safely, that she is fed, that she doesn't get hurt. She's your responsibility. You are the man, you are the protector and the provider. And the moment that you say, I'm only going to do that with a woman that I'm attracted to, this is a point of weakness for men, right? That you would change who you are because a woman is beautiful, right? You should be your own authentic self all of the time. And you should train yourself to be like that. I don't know how you do it. You just have to, I don't know, I guess all of a sudden you'll believe it. You'll believe that's the way you have to be. It's not that I'll be this way on Sunday when I go on this date. No, you are like that all of the time, and that's exactly how you should be. So that's what I explained to him. I said, all of the time when you're around your friends and your family, you will always take care of them. You'll always look out for them, because that is the true chivalrous way that a man should be. And if that is your mindset, people will be drawn to you. And that's what I told him. I said, people will naturally be drawn to you. They'll just think, there's something about this guy. You hear a lot of like BS online about alphas and betas, right? These guys that are spouting this garbage, I've even seen it in the comments saying, even guys claiming that they're the alpha, which means that you clearly do not understand what the alpha is. The alpha is somebody that can lead, but they lead naturally. They don't say, hey, I'm the alpha, F you, I'm strong. Yeah. It's not like that. It's that people see something in someone and they understand that that person can protect them, and they're willing to walk behind that person. Whether it's a man, whether it's a woman, whatever it is, they know this person is going to protect them, but that person is always going to be kind and be put the tribe, let's call it that, the tribe or the betas in a priority, because without the betas, there is no alpha. You can't be an alpha by yourself living in a jungle. Anyway, so that's why I do not subscribe to the alpha beta phenomena. I think it's garbage, and I think it puts men on the wrong path. The right path is this chivalry path, right?
Yes, agreed.
It's being chivalrous. It's taking care of the people that are around you that you care about. Okay, and this, honestly, this is one of the most powerful things a man can adopt into his own psyche, into his own mind going forward, is that he is the protector and the provider, and I will take care. And people are drawn to that. They naturally are drawn to that, to be around this person through revolution, through some instinct that this person, if I'm around this person, I will feel safe and this person's going to be okay. Now, I'm not saying be a simp. I'm not saying give people things that they don't deserve. I'm not saying buy rounds of drinks for people that you don't know. That's not what it is about, right? But if you can adopt this into your mind and you truly believe that whenever you are walking around and no matter what you are doing, It's like one of the greatest strengths a man can have. It's not just about opening the door to a pretty woman.
That is very much true, because for me the great example of that is my dad, because like he is the one who will always be a charm of like any place, and he will always help. And honestly, when he was younger, and I don't know, maybe I just imagined that, or like it's no, I believe so. He's a very handsome man. He's a bit overweight now, but
He's not the knight he used to be.
but he's he's a retired knighty. But he was like all the ladies, like I just remember when I was like, maybe when I started to understand, like some kind of interaction, like I was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, like all the ladies were just like look at him, just absolutely mesmerized. But no matter is it an old woman, is it old man, or it's like ugly woman, or it's like beautiful woman, he was always the same. Like he will always help, he will always like be nice, he will always listen, he will always advise, and he's just this type of person. And for me, like if I see other men, I just kind of like don't get it. I don't understand like how it can be different, especially after this talk with this guy, because on his opinion, he was like, no, I will be nice only with the woman that is like super hot. Like of course there's different level, as I said. With the woman that you like you would be different. You would
be romantic.
You would be romantic. You would be over and over. But in general, it's the same. It's like you're very right. It's a great example of saying like I'm an alpha. When alpha don't say that. Alpha is just alpha. He is just like the leader is just the leader. It's not because he said I'm a leader. It's because everybody feel it. And the same with the chivalry, and the same with being a gentleman. So practice to be a gentleman is really practicing to be around like that with everybody. Because as I said, like my dad, he was never ever said, like I never ever heard from him like when he was coming to the companies, or like when we were like, but it just organically happened that he was the one who making the fire for the barbecue. He was the one who always taking care, like nobody, like everybody bring like this, but he always have like a extra water for everybody to wash hands. Nobody asked him that. He was just that leader who was always providing that without asking or saying anything. He was just doing, and it automatically lead him to be the leader of this like tribe.
Yeah, he was looked at for survival. This is like the instinct. We've spoken before about when you go on a date, don't talk about, how much money you've got, and try and talk yourself up. You need to be your own authentic self, right? Present yourself in the best possible light, but your own authentic self. And to be honest, until just now, I never really sort of clicked these two together. But they do go in together really, really well, right? And this is a good way to explain it. If you are the chivalrous knight, if you want to call it that, I know that the term white knight has... a
different meaning.
Well, it has a different meaning in that context. Like, don't be the white knight, right, in saving a woman. There's a fine line, I guess, when you start being a simp and you're giving out, your time and your energy and your money and you're getting nothing in return. That's not what I'm talking about here. But if you do adopt this mindset that anyone that comes into your contact that is around you, you will take care of them, you'll look after them, and you expect nothing in return, right? And if you actually adopt that, when you do go on a date, and you do that with everyone, you do go on a date with a woman that you're attracted to, and you're acting the same, that then becomes your authentic self. Because whether it's with her, whether it's with your mother, whether it is with your family, friends, whatever, if you always act the same way, because that's how you actually feel, and that's what you know that that's what you want to put out into the world, that is your authentic self. But if you don't do those things and you think, I'm not doing that for that person, I don't think that person's attractive, but I will do this for someone that I'm attracted to, are you really your authentic self? Or did you switch because the woman is beautiful, then you'll drop into
we call it fake,
a different character?
You try to avoid this word, but don't be fake. And we did the video about that a long time ago.
That's harsh to say don't be fake, but what I'm saying is that you can be authentic and you can be chivalrous, and that is who you really are. But, we do act different around people that we are attracted to, right?
Absolutely.
Like maybe I would buy a drink for a woman that I'm attracted to, and I wouldn't buy one that I'm not attracted to.
You know what came to my mind, and this is a real life example, is that sometimes we think that, we can be very nice here and can be okay here, or can be like nasty with this person. But to be honest, we were just speaking today about how we met. And all of this a coincidence, little things that happened, and how we actually just met in a door, basically it's 1 second event. And if this event would not happen, the heart rocket will not born, we will not meet and everything like that happening. But you never know who is connected to whom. And so with that particular guy, like I don't want to go into much details, but because he was like that with one lady, it actually touched the line. It's like a domino. It's like it's pushed. And so other lady didn't want to talk to him. It was like, it's combination of things. So when you help somebody there, you don't know, you want world to know good about you, right? Like that you are like this always. Of course, if you mad at somebody or somebody offend you, you should be yourself, right? And if you're angry, you should say that you're angry. Or if you think that somebody is not right, you talk about this. Or if somebody hit your car, like of course you got pissed off and you are very angry. But like, if you're nice to people in general, the world will just spread the word about you like that, right? People will know that you are like that. Like, again, if I can talk about my dad, if you ask any person possibly about my dad, they probably, like somebody will say this and this, but the general characteristic would be the same.
Well, let's put what I explained to this guy was that, all that stuff, like it doesn't matter like who you are with, you want to be this particular person. That's who you should be in your heart, in the core of your soul. That is who you are. And even if you're not attracted to her, you still want her to go away thinking that guy was the most interesting person, the most interesting man that I think I've ever met. And you want her to go away thinking about that. That should be the goal, even though you're not interested in her. She's just met a man that was like no other that she has ever met. And that's pretty good. But if she goes away going, yeah, I don't like that guy, and you're thinking also, oh, I don't like her either, so who cares? Like, this is not a way to be trying to meet people out in the world, right? You want people to, even if you don't like them, you still want them to go away and go, that guy was one of the coolest guys I've ever met. What an interesting guy. I'd like to stay friends with him. You want people who want to be friends with you.
And here's a little example that I will give. It's very kind of like funny and unexpected story for me as well. But we have a guy who was speaking with one lady, and it did like the lady is in the United States, and it didn't work out between them, but they have a very nice talk, and she has a very nice like feeling about him, but they just decided not to continue, right? And so later on, maybe like in a month or so, he was speaking with another lady. And she was also in the United States, also in the same state, different lady. She was relatively new in our agency, so I didn't know much about her. I just knew that she came by some by some recommendation, and that's it. So they have a talk, and she was unsure because it was her first guy like to talk to, so she was a little bit unsure. And when she finished the call, she messaged me like in about 2 hours and said, like, I was unsure because I was scared, but like the girl that I'm living at now said that she had a call with this guy, and like that he is like super cool, super nice, like they didn't work out between them, but like he was, and she was kind of convinced her to be with like to stay in touch with this guy if they have mutual attraction. And this become a first step to their interaction. So this girl would probably say no to him because she was a bit like worried or a little bit scared, but it just like absolutely accidentally happened that yes, this girl came to our agency by recommendation of other girls. She just didn't say that, and they, in the United States, like girls, like they renting the rooms, like especially Ukrainians, they try to not stay like at refugee centers and stuff, so they end up living together, and she saw that she's talking to the same guy, and she recommended him because so you never know how the good stuff that you've done there would give you feedback in the future. So being gentleman, it should be natural. If you're a gentleman, you're a gentleman. But if you don't feel it, don't do it. Like if you don't feel that you want to do that and you want to act differently, the most important is to be authentic, right?
To be authentic, yeah. I mean, like if you think that someone is not a good person, then definitely don't waste your time with this person, right? And that's it,
We're not saying like, this is very important because it also remind me, I don't want to make this video for 3 hours, but it remind me like how one of the guys who become our client, he told that the other company that he was using before, they were insisting him to go on a second and third date with a lady that he didn't like from the first date, remember?
Yeah.
And so he went on the first date, he didn't like the lady, he said, I don't want to meet her again, but the agency were saying, no, you need to meet her again, like second date and third date would be better, like you need to get to know, you need to buy her flowers, you need to book the restaurant. He said like, I understand, she's a lovely woman, I have zero attraction to her. But there's no, you don't understand. So we don't say that. We don't say that you have to keep going with a lady that you don't like. But while you with her, like while you with this person, maybe it is 1 hour call, maybe it is first meeting, maybe it is like even, I don't know, even like your trip together, like you met for 3-4 days, you should be a gentleman the whole time that this person is with you. But then after that, we never insist you to say, no, stay with her, no, like you already met, you make it work. No, you know what you want and you're looking for that and you have to achieve it, you have to have it. But being gentleman, it's always, it's not just for 1 hour, it's forever.
So hopefully this video just gives you something to think about. Many guys will probably think, well, that's just garbage, you know what you're talking about. But hopefully there's a few guys out there that actually think about this, you know, and think, you know, how do I adopt this mindset? There are plenty of books out there, you know, that can teach you a little bit more about this topic, and you can read them and you can understand. And when you start to, you know, put some of this information into your head, you realize that that is not actually a bad way to live your life, rather than living it another way, which, you know, makes you a little bit miserable in life. But that's the topic for the video today. Think about it.
Thank you, gentlemen, for watching, and we see you next time.
We'll catch you later.